Chelsea fan, I was just kind of optimistic that we'll win because we've had a very bad form this season.
Clash of the Titans between the two London rivals, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Already Man City has overtaken Arsenal on the lead of the table with 30 matches played. A win for Arsenal today, Arsenal will automatically overtake Manchester City. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
Yeah. Okay. Chelsea is coming back, whether they like it or not. Once I mention, I just go to my this. I want to say Chelsea has so many substitutes. Bench win matches. We're not talking about your starting 11. Now we have two starting 11. Anybody can play now. It's not about two. Let my two and three come back. Anybody can. Anybody will collect from Chelsea. Anybody will collect. This season may be awful, but I'm telling you.
Next is Sports Fan Center live watch along, and today is the FA Cup final. Yeah, the two finalists last season, Manchester City versus Manchester United. A repeat of what happened last season, but hey, let's see if the season will be a different one entirely. Manchester City have been overhead against Manchester United in the Premier League. They won back-to-back. They won their reverse fixture, and at home they won Manchester United 3-0 at the Old Trafford and 1-3-1 at the Etihad. But here is the FA Cup. Let's see if they will beat Manchester United for the third time in a single season. Yeah, right now the match is ongoing. It's ongoing and it's goalless in that encounter. It is 15 minutes into the first half. Well, I'm not alone to talk about all the happenings in this encounter, all the highlight moment, all the exciting moment. I'm here with the great analysts themselves. From my far left, I have Shegu with me in the studio today. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Before
for like 3 months and what he actually brought to the team. So let's see if this is going to cap up a fantastic season for Manchester City. But I expect them to get a victory over Manchester United.
Yeah, expecting a victory for Manchester City against Manchester United in this FA Cup final 2023/2024 season. I'm also having with me Yamite in the studio today. Yamite, how do you do?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Shagun. Good afternoon, the Gaffer. And it's one fixture that people look up to after the league just ended, the FA Cup final. Is always a keenly contested tie. especially when you have a derby like this, a repeat of what happened last season. And let's just see if the result too will repeat itself. But hey, it looks more like a game that Manchester City is supposed to win. But hey, in football, anything can happen. And you see that this is a Manchester United team that their backs are against the wall already. So there's nowhere else to go than to fight back. So it is a very very dicey game. It's a banana peel. If Man City is not careful, they will lose it.
Yeah, if Man City is not careful, they will lose it because hey, the wounded lions, they can be dangerous at any time.
Yeah.
The last season, FA Cup final ended 2-1 in favor of Manchester City. 2 goals coming from Ike Gundogan and a penalty kick from Bruno Fernandes was enough to end 2-1 in that FA Cup final last season.
Gundogan
and now he's in
for
Barcelona.
And Barcelona fired Xavi. Drama
Everywhere.
when you went to plead with a coach to stay more than this season, and he agreed after you plead with him to convince him, had a long conversation, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, you sack him.
But the other day, I think it's to Xavi Hernandez's advantage because at the point he was looking at that legendary statue at Barcelona, so he can walk away without getting any penalty from Barcelona. But at the end of the day, he's leaving Barcelona and he'll be getting 50 million pounds for 50 million euros for both him and his what's it called, assistant.
But
so I think he's a good
I
buyout
saw
for
a
him.
story that's like maybe he will let it go.
No. If he's going to let that go with the embarrassment
I don't.
and everything afforded to him from Barcelona, I
You
don't
can
think
embarrass
he
me for
shouldn't-
50 million.
He shouldn't allow
$50
that.
million.
He shouldn't be allowing that to go.
But he's having a different situation with Chelsea because Xavi was sacked, though at the tail end of the season, it's like he picked back and he was doing well. But we see, Pochettino, it's like he decided to live on his own. Nobody sacked him.
No.
I think
It was mutual.
Okay.
It was a
Mutual.
agreement,
It's
yeah.
not about him leaving. It's
or him being
about
sacked.
2 people agreeing that this cannot work out anymore. You can leave. Okay, I'm going to leave. You see, that mutual is just a coded language. It was sacked.
I think that's the best. That's the really best thing for both Chelsea and Pochettino. Because when you look at the season, I think for maybe like 32 games coming into the season, Chelsea were not playing at the best, and it's not really about the players. It's not really about the manager, but that's
Cohesion.
romance, that cohesion you expect from this team wasn't really coming in. And towards the last 6 games, that's when you saw Chelsea really coming into the peak of the season. Yeah, I wouldn't be carried away by that because I look at it that formation Pochettino was using. I think I said it in the studio that it's not really a formation that for the long run. It's really a formation
Quick
for
fix.
you, a quick fix, more like you playing a competition, just like the way we saw Bologna towards the end of the season play 7-2 formation.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of formations you just come into with it. You just fix some things within the short frame of time. But when you're using it on the long run for a marathon league, it's not really going to happen. So I think that's that mentality, the philosophy is really far different from what the owners and the board of Chelsea are having in their head and what Pochettino is having on his head. So I think I think that bromance won't really have worked on the long run. Should he stay till next season? At the point next season, I think they'll really sack Pochettino. So it's better for them to just have come to a compromise and just go their separate way so they can think of the long run, which is really important.
This is Man U attacking right there into the box, but it was saved right there. And that follow pass. Oh, the shot was blocked. Headed out by Rodri, but Kevin De Bruyne will send this one to safety. But Manchester United looks like they will win that one back straight to Ortega, and that clearance was right on time. Manchester United almost took that lead.
Yeah, they almost took that lead. You just from our fans, you just saw the analysis given by this great analyst here. A beautiful, great analyst, but Manchester United almost scored at the cost of my, talking to our fans. You can be part of this show. You can be part of this show. You can see the great analysis given to go by the.
Yeah, just like when we came into this.
It's
game.
so rough.
Yeah,
it's so rough out there.
It's the first minutes of those games. Just like we said when we came into this program, when it comes to derby, you get a different type of animal from both teams, and that's what we're getting in this game. You have to go all out and get the bragging rights. Looking fully well that they lost to Manchester City this season and lost so well in the FA Cup final last season. This might probably be Eric Ten Hag's last game as the manager of Manchester United. So that parting gift from the players, and you can see the players. It's 11 against 11. Those players are coming onto the pitch, try to show that yes, we are also professional enough like the Manchester City players. You don't want to see Manchester City in the same city as Manchester United. We know how much bragging rights Manchester United used to have in the Manchester City, and letting Manchester City to get 2 trophies over you when you're having about 15 years or 10 years without the EPL is really, really going to be a battle for Manchester United. So I expect the Manchester United players to come all out against Manchester City today, but it's always a big problem when you come out against Manchester City to try and play typical football against them, because they'll take advantage of it. And you look at the attack of Manchester City, these boys' mentality, they are ahead of every other 19 teams in the EPL.
Yeah.
Massive mentality. When you look at the last 3 games they play in the EPL, the way they approach this game and took out the opponent like it wasn't any problem for them. That is where the biggest problem for Manchester United. And you can see Manchester United coming into this game trying to be play that low block and also try to eat Manchester City on the attack on the counter. I think that's where Manchester City are really going to face a lot of problems today. And, when you are playing against a team who's trying to play low block and also eat you on the counter, is really going to be hard. So much of the work is being done today. It has to be between Bernardo Silva. These are players that can hold on to the ball, and Phil Foden getting into the form of this game. These are the players that might just swing it on the side of Manchester City. But the way the teams are going into the 21st minutes, by the time I get to the 30th, 40th minute, you have Manchester. If this game remains at 0-0, you have Manchester United, growing in confidence that they can attack against the same Manchester City. So it's very much important for Manchester City to get that early lead in this game.
All right, very important for Manchester City to get that early lead, said Thiago. But hey, my fans, you can be part of this show. You can be part of this show. This is the FA Cup final. And once you get your prediction right, 10,000 naira will be waiting for you. This is a big match. So wherever you are, all our fans, an opportunity for you to make money from Premier Sport Fan Center. Just send in your prediction here. And just basically correct score. Basically correct score. No over 2.5, no over 1.5. Just send in your prediction what you think the score line will be in this encounter, what the result will be, and you stand a chance of winning 10,000 naira convertible to any currency in the world. And remember to send in your comment. You can see the great analysis being given by these 2 great analysts here. You can also contribute, or you can also send in your own personal view, and it can be a subject of discussion here today. So far so good. This Manchester City stand a chance of winning their 8th FA Cup, while Manchester United stand a chance of winning their 13th FA Cup if they can win this one today. The only team that have won it more than both of them is Arsenal, who is having 14 ahead of these 2 sides.
You just have to put Arsenal into that conversation. I don't really know why.
No, it's because they fall into it.
Looking at it, I think everything has to be on Manchester City. 90% into it, I think Manchester City might be winning this game. I don't know why you have to bring Arsenal into it.
No, of course, they can't fall because they are the top.
Yeah, if
they are
the top. The last time Arsenal won the FA Cup, I think it was on 2021 or 2020, if I'm not mistaken. They should be playing this FA Cup final if that's really good this season. I don't know what's the problem with you Arsenal fans. You always have to bring Arsenal into the conversation.
But
I can check for this.
No, we are talking about. We are talking about. It's not allegations. This is not defamation. We are talking about Manchester City and Manchester United right here, and I think Manchester United really needs to come all out against Manchester City. The mentality Manchester City have, they will keep on playing like this for the next 60 minutes without them getting tired and without the opponent scoring against them. They have to come out against them, get that goal.
And that's a good chance.
Manchester City are going to get that first goal against them, and that is really going to be the biggest blow against Man U.
All right, that will be the biggest goal against Man U. But hey, it was a close one for Manchester City to go up against them, Manchester United. But hey, the defense was solid. But let's quickly look at the line up of these 2 sides. A lot has happened. For both sides. We've seen that Casemiro is not being featured here today. Probably because of us. Look at the formation Ten Hag employed today. Onana at the goalpost as his goalkeeper. Then we have four-man defense. We have Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez. Yeah, good combination. Varane and Martinez this time around. Then Dalot from the left side. Then we have Malno and Amrabat in front of the four-man defense. And Garnacho, Rashford just behind Fernandes and McTominay.
Well, good, typical Manchester United starting 11. But I think my biggest problem is with Varane and Lautaro Martinez. Oh, is it Lautaro? No, not Lautaro.
Lisandro Martinez.
Lautaro is the striker at Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Lisandro Martinez. Both of them playing together, and these are injury-prone centre backs. And when was the last time both of them played together at Manchester United? That is really going to be a big problem for them because the cohesion might just not be there, and the understanding. When you look at it, the big man they are actually attack is a wide animal. Talking about Erling Haaland, he's a big beast in that middle or the center of that defense. But having 2 centre center backs playing in this game is very, very, very much good for Manchester United, because they will have to look at it again that Haaland hasn't really been in the form of his life. For about 3 games right now, he has struggled to get a goal in the EPL. So let's see how much they can keep him at bay in this game. That is very much important to them to see in this encounter. But when you look at it attack, I think Rashford has a lot to do. He missed out on the England provisional squad for the Euro 2024. I think at a point he will really be embarrassed. He will be really embarrassed by himself, because he didn't have a good season by all standards in the EPL. This just finished last season. So let's see if he can get himself back in the mood for next season. Manchester United just need to come out in this game against Manchester City. They need that bragging right. Manchester City has won the EPL, and Manchester United really needs to win this FA Cup. We saw Bruno Fernandes also talk about that need for them to win a trophy. It's a must for them to win trophies. They have to compete when you are in the final. It's not just about you sitting back against the prescribed better team in the final. You have to come out against them. Not just them playing a fully defended team against the Manchester City. It's not going to get them that goal.
Yeah, it might get them that goal, it might not. But 28 minutes at the Wembley Stadium, the prestigious Wembley Stadium in England, is that stadium that has hosted a lot of memories. One of them was Ike the Gundogan getting a brace last season and making it 2-1 in favor of Manchester City. Another memorable day will be next weekend, that you can join us at the Premier Sports Fan Center for the final at this same Wembley Stadium between Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund. Back to that FA Cup final, the longest running club competition in the whole world. It's Foden who will run into the box. Oh, is that Foden or Viador? Viador into the box, and couldn't keep the ball right there to be a goal kick to Manchester United. And Manchester United goal kick. Yes, goal kick to Manchester United. And that's a replay of that good chance for Manchester City. I think Kovacic should have at least make an attempt at goal.
He should have got a hit on goal, but you have to look at this at he's not one of those players you expect to get a goal in a game of football. He has an handful number of goals for both Real Madrid and at Chelsea, even at Inter Milan. Yeah, even at this same Manchester City, he has a handful of goals. So he's not one of those players you target to get a goal for his club.
Sofia Amrabat wins possession back, finds Dallo, who send the long one forward for the Manchester United player Genato to chase. And a miscommunication from Man City defenders has set Genato on goal, and Genato makes it 1 for Manchester United at the Wembley Stadium. You can see the fans roaring. Manchester United leading. They don't want to care how it happened. The other with the defensive error right there.
A lot of the, miscommunication between him and his goalkeeper. And I think that is one of the problems we talked about. The goalkeeper there, he should be communicating with his defender before coming all out there for that. To a loose end ball there. And Garnacho has to take advantage of that. That is how you come into the game. Against the run of play, you have to get that goal against a formidable team like Manchester City, and that's what Manchester United has done. Get a goal against the run of play, and that is the way you open up this game. Let's see if VR is not going to check that as an offside, but I don't really think that is an offside. Let's see that again. VR will be checking that. And the goalkeeper also came out too early there, because he has about 2 or 3 defenders, in a position to cover that up. And I think that was why Valor had to go for that defensive nod instead of him clearing the line, because that place he had the ball in check. If the goalkeeper was in his position, that ball would have come straight into the hands of Ortega. And this is one of the reasons why Ortega is the second choice goalkeeper at Manchester City. He needs to keep his composure at the back. Unfortunately, Manchester City had to concede that goal against Manchester United. It was an unnecessary goal conceded there by Manchester City.
Yeah, this is not the first time that Manchester City will go down against Manchester United. We remember that fixture at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester United drew the first blood in that encounter. Will Man City come back into this one? 32nd minute of that encounter is still going on. Man City will try to find that goal, that all-important equalizer, and when they score one, they can get into that mojo right there. And that was a beautiful clearance for that Manchester United defender right there. And looking at the way Man City players are playing today, they are not at ease. They are just in a hurry.
They've done lot of partying after winning the EPL. We've seen Grealish and a lot of players going to club and enjoying their life. But I think the biggest problem for Manchester United scoring this first goal as early as 29 minutes is that they want to sit back against Manchester City. It's really going to be a big problem for them. How much can they stoke the pressure against Manchester City is very much to see in this game. I think if Eric Ten Hag is so wise enough in his head, he has to keep composure like he has kept it for the past 30 minutes of those games. You don't have to sit back against this Manchester City, try and get force them into errors and get that second goal as early as this first half. So you just this arrange that Manchester City composure in this game is very much important for them. You don't have to stay back and play low blocks against this Manchester City. It's really going to be a big problem for them. But let's see if he's going to keep that composure in this game.
Well, talking about Manchester United, we've seen that they've broken all the wrong records so far this season, and one of those records is considering goal more than any other season. The only season that they have considered, the only season that they considered more goal is 1989, when they considered 89 goals. But this season they are close to that worst season where they concede goal. They 86 goals this season. So do you think a team like Manchester United, who concede a lot of goal, can hold on for 90 minutes against Manchester City?
You need to cut Manchester United some slack. Too many centre back injured. There's no way. It's not rocket science. You concede. That's it. You concede. Though not having a playing structure affected them too, but they won't have conceded this much. You have about 8 to 8 defenders injured for months in a season. It will tell. It will really tell.
One of those things Ten Hag said about that. He said, "Can you imagine that he has had 33 different defenders this season for Manchester? Then centre back, he has had 15 different centre backs for Manchester United this season because of injury." That was what he said.
I don't really see injuries as an excuse for imperfect season, because injuries are part of the game of football. Players go out injured and players come back from injury. So I don't really see injury as a big issue for managers. We know the number of injuries Chelsea has faced this season. We know the numbers of injuries Tottenham Hotspur has faced this season. So I don't think it should be a big excuse.
What I was saying is that the players that got injured the most are the centre backs, the defenders. When you look at them, if they have 12 players injured, about 6 to 8, 9, they are defenders. Look, I can begin to count Malacia, Luke Shaw, Varane. There was a time Lisandro Martinez. There was a time even Diogo Dalot. It was defenders. So you see, there are some things that if you don't know if you don't have the primary knowledge, you won't really be able to perform the way you ought to. Casemiro too played as the centre back, but he couldn't cope, because he's a pivot player.
Okay, Mike, I want to ask you this question. We now with all this fact you just gave now, with injury, it's obvious, everybody knows. And from what Ten Hag said, those are one of the reasons. Because like I just said now, he has had 15 different centre backs, 33 different defenders, trying to balance the equation because of the injury. Now, this is from the comment we are getting. That whether I'm coming
centre back pairing.
Yeah, pairing.
Okay.
15 different centre back pairing. No, so now with all this analysis you just made now. From the comment we are hearing that whether Ten Hag win or lose, he will be sacked.
That's still rumor.
It's
still rumor. It's still rumor.
Do you think if it is true, do you think that is just for them to do that to you?
I think it's justified for them to sack Ten Hag, because when you look at the team like Manchester United, it's a traditional team, and you look at the standards this team has and what Ten Hag has really achieved with Manchester United both last season and this season. He has been given free hand in Manchester United. The players you wanted were the players they got you. The players you asked for were the players the board actually gave to you. You spent £100 million getting a player like Anthony, when you saw Kudus, who you coached at Ajax, also going to West Ham and doing beautiful things with West Ham. You could have gotten Kudus with a lesser amount. I think he was gotten for about 40 or 35 million pounds. 35 million pounds. So that is a fair percentage of the 100 million or so they paid on Anthony, which both players you actually managed at Ajax. So I think that alone.
But Kudus was also playing second fiddle to Antonio.
He was more playing as a 10 at Ajax, or playing on the other wing at Ajax. So I think we could have done better with getting Kudus. The Andre Onana, he shouted all over to get. We know how many the number of goals he considered at Manchester United. But look at the whole season. I think when you look at the standard, I think the most important thing is standard and mentality of a team. and that is what set Manchester City apart from every other teams in EPL. When you look at the mentality on the head of those players, we saw Rodri talk, and we saw what's it called, Kai Walker also talk after Manchester City won the EPL, and you could easily, see the mentality in this guy's head. They are never thinking of losing a game or losing a title. It's really about winning, and that is how you get a winning or mentality. So that is the difference. When you look at a team like Manchester United, 10 years without the EPL, they are far going behind, just like Arsenal, who celebrated 20 years without the EPL title. And before you know it, we'll be celebrating 20 years without Manchester United having an EPL title. And before you know it, out of the next 10 years, if this might be the
chance again for Manchester
and
United.
that is the second goal! Rashford.
Offside.
Wow, offside. Wow.
I need
Wow.
to be
Unfortunately,
offside.
that
It
has
should
to be
be an
flagged offside.
Whoa,
And you
no,
can see Eric Ten Hag, sensing, you can see his displeasure at that. But let's see if VR will be checking that, if that was really, really an offside
That's
against
a clear
Manchester
offside.
United. It's looking like from our screens, it's a clear offside. Garnacho had to get away before the last man there. But that is how you come into this game. You have to show Manchester City that yes, you are up for the taking, and you can really be that green snake that can just bite them when they least expect. And I think the Manchester City defense hasn't really been formidable for about 5 minutes in this game. They really need to get themselves into this game. Pep Guardiola really needs to back out at his boys at the back. They really need to keep it safe at the back. They've let in lot of errors in the opening for the 38 minutes of this game. They really need to keep that composure at the back. It's very much important for them.
And
Yeah,
I remember
playing
what
high line is what Manchester City shouldn't be doing right now, because it's a game that is at this edge and is City in the box just for De Bruyne with that touch, but was deflected off by that Manchester United defender. Bruno Fernandes will pounce on that. Who finds Marcus Rashford? Will find it's now Rashford sends a long one for Garnacho to chase. And he will meet up with that one, attacking down the right, running into the box, dropped it for Bruno Fernandes, dropped it.
Mano with a second goal for Manchester
Mino
United.
makes it 2 for Manchester
And
United.
Manchester United are really coming all out against Manchester City in this game. It's 2-0. Eric Ten Hag taking a bottle of water there, having a chair peeled there. Manchester United doubled the lead at Wembley Stadium. It's a neutral ground. It's the FA Cup final, and both manager has to take a bottle of water. You have to take that chill pill there. And just like you were talking about some minutes ago, you don't have to open up against Manchester
playing
United.
high-line.
Playing high line is really going to hurt
It's
you,
very
and
risky.
that is what Manchester City has really done. I'm going to fault Pep Guardiola. After conceding that goal, you have to keep composure in this game, not you opening up. When you open up, you allow your opponent to come all out against you, and that is what we've seen
Look
from
at 3
Manchester
men
City.
against 4.
Manchester United, second goal they scored in a space of 5 minutes in this game, and this second time is really going to count as the second goal in this game. Unfortunately, unbelievable, Manchester City are 2 goals down against Manchester United at the Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, Wembley has witnessed 2 goals already. One for a man called Mino. Mino, not a minor, but his age sometimes you might say is a minor because he's yet to be 18. But hey, Mino making a difference.
But I really want Manchester United to win this game, so Eric Ten Hag is going to remain as
continue.
he's going to continue.
But when we look at the plus and minus, a lot of Chelsea fans will actually want Chelsea to go to the Europa.
No, come back.
Manchester-
Oh,
if Man City
that's
win-
true.
If Man
Conference,
City win,
no, Chelsea.
if
If
Man
Manchester
City win, Chelsea will be going to the Europa.
Europa
So-
League, if
so
Manchester,
it
if Manchester
favours-
City should, if Manchester United should win, Chelsea will get into the Conference
to the
League.
Conference League. So,
Okay.
but if Man City win,
But
Chelsea will be
coming
going-
back in this game is really going to be hard for Manchester United, no doubt. For Manchester City, no doubt.
But wait,
when
before
you're
I continue,
listening-
let me quickly read some of the messages here. Yeah, we have a message. But to our fans here, you can be part of this show. You still have the first half to send in your prediction. Like I said before, you get your prediction right, correct scores. You get prediction right, you stand a chance of winning 10,000 naira convertible to any currency in the world. And remember, if you have not subscribed before, you can subscribe to Premier Sport Fan Center. You can always get notified whenever we are on like this. And you can also drop your comment.
Oh my God, that's a good chance for Manchester City, but no one to get on from that
Wrong
cross
execution, wrong
from
execution.
Kevin De Bruyne. And they look surprised because Manchester United has changed it. It's not the typical way
And
they want to
now
be
it's really going
pragmatic.
to be easy for Manchester United to come in and defend against, keep the low blocks against Manchester United, Manchester City. Because
City, yeah.
now they are 2 goals up and they can, keep that momentum against Manchester United. Manchester United already have them where they want them to be.
Yeah.
And the next counter attack might just be Manchester United getting the third goal in this game. It has really, really been a frustrating game for Pep Guardiola and his boys. Least expected. This is not what we would have expected in a game against Manchester United.
Yeah, let me quickly read out the message here before we continue. Yeah, we have a message from Mary Olugbudi. We say, hi, Premier Sports Fan Center Studio. He said it is analyzing from the
And
angle.
Bruno with a chance, he shoots,
I think
but
he
it's
should have gone-
blocked
he should have
right there.
He should have
And
gone
it's
for
going
a
to be a
pass there,
throw-in
and that
from
was
Man U.
more selfish from Bruno Fernandes, a player with his experience, the captain.
But he
I
was
think
on
he should
goal.
have
He
gone.
was
He should
straight
have
on
gone for
goal.
a pass there. He has about 2 Manchester United players in better position than him shooting. Garnacho was on the far right there, on the far left. Sorry, he could have dropped a pass for there and probably find himself into the box of Manchester City.
Yeah, the arrangement is there. Manchester United is back in possession. Andre Onana with the ball right there. And it's 43rd minute at the Wembley Stadium. It's Man U leading 2-0. Yeah, you heard it right. A lot of puntas will go the way of Man City. But hey, Man City is not turning that city of Wembley blue today. It looks like it's going to be red. But only time will tell, because in football, anything can happen. We've seen team come back from 4-0 down, 3-0 down in the same encounter. So it's a long night or long afternoon for Man City fans. We'll be hoping that lightning will not strike against them, that it will strike in their favor right there. So it's Walker who will find Bernardo Silva down the right, who takes on Diogo Dalot, who cuts in and finds drops it, and Diogo Dalot will clear that one, send it back to the center right there. And that's the mindset Manchester United want to defend with their lives. They are in a very comfortable position to take home the FA Cup 2023-2024 season. Will they take it? It's up for grabs. But we know that Manchester United can collapse second half. They lost a 3-0 lead at the semi-final against Coventry. It's very possible they lose this
first
one.
half, leading 2-0 and coming into the second half and not conceding straight into the 60th minute. I think fancy Manchester United getting the third goal, getting a victory in this game. If they can keep composure in this first half and not concede a goal against Manchester United, it's really going to be important for them. This Manchester City team are really, really not composed enough in this game. I think those goals has kept or puts them in a difficult situation already.
Yeah, in a difficult situation is what Manchester City are in. You can see Alex Ferguson comfortable talking to the Glazer, having a discussion right there. And Ten Hag, the manager, under pressure, that as far as I'm concerned, a lot of journalists has not given him the respect they deserve. A lot of unfound stories concerning Eric Ten Hag in that encounter. So Onana will send this one forward, straight to a throw-in for Man City to take. And Kyle Walker will send this one back, finds Stones right there. Stones that has not been a solid rock for Man City today. They've conceded 2 already. Will they concede more? Only time will tell. So Viado will find Kovacic in the midfield, who turns well and finds Kevin De Bruyne. And that foul came in, and that will be a yellow card for Mino. I think he should be careful selling these kinds of tackle out.
If there's one thing we didn't really notice towards the end of the EPL last season, has to be the erasure of ball boys wasting time. These days they have to just put the ball on a plastic for the players to pick up, and I think that's
cone.
On a cone. Yeah, that has really cut that that wasting time from the ball boys. And I think that's really worked out the magic for them in the EPL. And I think other leagues needs to actually look at this initiative and make use of it, because the time wasting has really been cut off.
Yeah, Mino already on a yellow card. A young star, will he be able to keep that to the end of the match with the pressure Man City? And we know Man City to be a better side in the second half than the first half this season.
2 goes down is really, really going to be a big one.
Yeah, no, long toll to come back from. But hey, if they can have the deficit now, maybe second half they can fancy their chances right there. It's a free kick to Man City. De Bruyne cross into the box. But that will be an easy take for Andre Onana. Second minute of additional time it is in the first half already of the 2 minutes that has been added. Anytime from now, the referee will say he has had enough of this final first half of the FA Cup at the Wembley Stadium. Well, will lightning strike again this first half? I doubt it. Maybe second half. Oh no.
All right, let me quickly read out some of the messages here. Sent here. I was reading Mary Olibudi's message. Who say if care is not taken, Man United is likely to lose this to Man City. Yeah. Then my prediction is Man City 3 versus Man United 1.
Wow.
I think that one has been cancelled already.
Man is winning.
Then we have we say it is a trap for Man United. I know Onana will concede 3 goals in this final FA Cup. Then we have Benedict Boniface. He say, I support Manchester United to win this match. I don't want Manchester City to dominate all the cadres of football in England. Hey, Benedict Boniface, we want to hear your prediction. What do you think is going to be the score line of this encounter? We have Richmond Sport. Richmond Sport, he say, it cannot be Manchester City all the time, please. You know, he say, Richmond Sport, they say, let Manchester City allow other clubs to breathe.
It's halftime already in that game at Wembley Stadium. It's Manchester United leading 2-0. They're 45 minutes away from from victory or winning the FA Cup, and that is going to be an uplift from winning the Carabao Cup last season with Eric Ten Hag, and to this season winning the FA Cup. And I think probably next season they'll be thinking of winning the EPL if care is not taken. But coming into this game, you look at the formation and the approach to the game. That's what I meant when I said that it's always a different ball game when you're playing in a cup football or when you're playing in a marathon league. It's really going to be different. The way you go into a final game is different from the way you play a marathon league. And when you look at this game, I think I really thought on Pep Guardiola. He shouldn't have started this game with what's it called, Erling Haaland, because when you look at the last 4 games played by Erling Haaland, or the last 10 games, forget him scoring about 2-3 goals in some games, but he hasn't really been in the best shape for Manchester City. I think he shouldn't have started this game. Probably Julian Alvarez started up front for Manchester City would have done them a better favor than starting Erling Haaland up front. He hasn't really come to the party. When you look at the last 3 games against West Ham, against Tottenham, against Fulham, he was not really in the party for Manchester City. So I think I really thought Pep Guardiola. He didn't do his homework very well in coming into this game. Probably in the 50th minute or 60th minute, he really needs to bring his wingers into this game. Maybe the likes of Jeremy Doku really needs to come into this game to actually, force the Manchester City fullbacks to stay behind, because that is the best way for him. If you're allowing the Manchester City fullbacks to join the attack, then you're putting yourself at a lot of pressure against Manchester United. Because coming into the second half, they are at a down level right now. Losing 2-0 is advantage Manchester United coming into the game. Second half, they can choose to sit back and eat you on a counter, and they'll get a third goal, which is really going to make it from bad to worse for Manchester City.
All right, that is a great analysis from Shegu himself. You've had him. You might have seen the end of the first half, and it's a surprising scoreline we are seeing so far. 2-0 against Manchester City. What are your analysis in this first half?
Yeah, I think it's a game that the Edo people will say Agbe Mugbe. You keep me here today. It was very clear. The attitude for Man U is, we are going to die here. We are going to give everything we have. And that's what has played out. Man City is coming from that celebration of 4 in a row. There's every tendency. There are 2 times that you can lose it in life. When you are angry and when you are happy. Or when you are too happy. You can easily lose sight of whatever is coming. So I think for Man City, it's because they just won. They lost concentration. This team, they've not gotten themselves. They've not settled down into this game. Now you see, Man City has not gotten a clear chance in the first half. They didn't create. And we know Man City for creating. When you look at it, how many shots on target do they have? I think it's just 1 or 2. So, and that's unlike Manchester City. In a final, they will come at you, trying to eat you up from the first minute. I think they've just suffered from their own success. Meanwhile, it is very important that they stay in the game. I think the celebration of that number 4 got to them. This is more clinical Man City. Against West Ham, 1 minute, they were already 1-0 up. So I think this is about Man U knowing that there's no way to Europe except through FA Cup. And they know that they've had a very terrible season. They need to give their fans something to cheer. And if you look at it, FA Cup is one thing they can give to their fans to share, and they can go to the Europa League. But second half is still another 45 minutes that will be
But I think
played.
to add to
I
what
think Man
Mike has
City
really
will-
said, he has said a lot. So you look at this game in the first half, and it's what's one of those things I do really talk about. When you are not the best team in a game of football,
Mhm.
you have to utilize or make good use of the chances that fall into you, and that
Right,
is what
yeah.
Manchester United has done in this first half.
Mhm.
They were not the best side. They've defended a lot against Manchester City, but the time, every moment that chances come into
They
their
take it.
hands, they've taken it. Scoring 3 goals in the first half, 2 countable as a goal, one being chugged off by VAR. But at least at the end of the day, at the end of first 45 minutes, they have 2 goals to lead against Manchester City. They've kept them at bay when it comes to defending. They've defended with all their life. They've kept what's it called, Erling Haaland at bay in the first half, first 5 minutes. So they have, they don't really have big problem coming into the second half. It's just for them to keep that composure for the next 30 minutes in the second half, and this game is theirs to win at the end of the day.
Yeah, they have to win in the end of the day. And I'm talking about Pep Guardiola, who actually came and have changed the fortune of Manchester City. 25 games against Manchester United. He won 15, drew 3, and lost 7 against Manchester United. And this is the FA Cup final. We saw him in the last season. They won 2-1. But right now, in the first half, it is 2-0. Do you see them?
You know,
Did you see them turning it
well,
back?
I don't see them turning this around, because coming into the second half is really going to be Manchester United at the advantage. They'll keep themselves at composure at the back, wait for Manchester City to make that error. I won't be surprised at 50th minute if Eric Ten Hag is going to introduce the likes of what's it called, Anthony into this game, because that is a player that can hold on to the ball and eat that attack for Manchester United. Take out Rashford, return what's it called, Garnacho to the right, to the left side of the pitch, where is his preferred position. Put Anthony on the left side, and that is how you attack against Manchester City on the counter. But coming into the second half, I think I was really going to be advantage Manchester United. I don't really see Manchester City, taking this advantage. The only best way for them is to come early in this game and get that first goal, which will take Manchester United off composure, probably between the 45th minute to the 55th minute. That is the best way for them to get the first goal. When you go back to the last FA Cup final between Manchester City and Manchester United, if I'm not mistaken, Gundogan got that first goal in the first minute of that game, which really kept Manchester United off composure in that game. But this game is advantage Manchester United right now.
Yeah. Advantage Manchester United. You might, from what is on, what you see, what I just have unveiled himself so far so good. Do you see Manchester City coming back from behind to win this against Man United?
If you look at it, if there's a team in the old Premier League who can come back from a training deficit, it's Man City. They have 100 million player on the bench. I think around 50 million Jeremy Doku on the bench. Alvarez, I think his worth now.
It's really how early brings them into this game. That is what
and
really
you know
matters
that
a
Man
lot.
City has a better second half
Yeah.
appearance. And I think that has a lot to do with their manager, Pep Guardiola. When you have a tactician on the bench, many of the time your second half will be better than the first, because the way they read the game, the way they understand the game is different. So if there's a team that can come back, it's Man City. But I think Man U will be so dogged that they will just take this one. But it is very, very slim, because Man City has goals in this game, or a goal at least in this game. And De Bruyne has not come to the party, including Haaland too. So I think there's a way. I think they should infuse more bodies up front. At least I think take Bernardo Silva away from that right wing, switch to a folding right, and maybe introduce Alvarez to support, to play with De Bruyne, because De Bruyne has been overpopulated in that area of the midfield. So if you had one more player there, I think it can take off the pressure on De Bruyne, and Doku can come in down the left and try to dribble him, possess more, take ons and all those things. So dribbles. So I think if Doku can take on to one or two players, it can limit the number of defenders that Man U has defending. So I think if you look at the way it is, I think Man City can, but will they come back? It's still left to be seen.
All right, will they come back? It's still left to be seen. It is not over yet. One thing we have learned over the years is never say it is over until the final whistle. We've seen at the end, additional time, equalize and also a team wins the match. Just a joke. I remember last season I was saying a player said that anytime Pep Guardiola changed his wear during match, they lost. We've seen him with the black, but today his wear is on suit. And right now they are 2 goals down. But let's see what that does, by the way. Let's quickly look at the statistics of this encounter. Ball possession for Manchester City, 77%. Man U, 23. Goal attempt, 3 for Manchester City and 5 for Manchester United. Shot on goal, just 1 shot on goal for Manchester City and 3 for Manchester United. Shot off goal, 2 for Manchester City and none for Man U. Block shot, 2 block shot for Man U. Corner kick. Throughout the first half, there is no corner kick. Both teams have what a game.
Well, both teams are really big. They've kept it composed at the middle, and they've been, that is what you get in a final game. Both teams trying to keep composure. But I think where I really have my eyes on is on the ball possession. Looking at Manchester United having in the 20s of ball possession shows how the first half really ended. Manchester City dominating play, but Manchester United getting the goals, and the goals are what really matters in a game of football. When you dominate possession and you're not getting that goal, it's to no avail to me. You have to get those goals. You have to turn those possession into goals, and that is what Manchester City has really done in the first half. So I think I'm going to this game. I'm going to the break. Pep Guardiola needs to be talking senses into his boys, and coming into the second half, he really needs to reach out that midfield, bring in Jeremy Doku onto the wing to cause a lot of problems for probably Wan-Bissaka on that wing and create a lot of problems in that encounter. They really need Doku in this encounter. Doku or Grealish coming into the second half.
All right, let's quickly let's go back to the Europa final. We saw a beautiful match played against Atlanta versus Bayern Leverkusen. It ended 3-0. Atlanta won the Europa. And one catching moment is Ademola Lookman, who had 3 shots in that encounter, 3 attempts, 3 shots on goal, and 3 goals. An hat-trick in that match. Nobody has ever scored an hat-trick in the Europa Cup final.
Well, good one for Ademola Lookman. We saw him at
Europa
the
League.
Europa League,
yeah.
and it's just the 9th player to score a hat-trick in a European final. So it shows that he's also putting himself, in that book that has the likes of Stefano, the big names in the game
Stefano.
in the big names in the world of football, and he will always go down in history as one of those players that's got a hat-trick in a European football final. We saw him in the African finals. Let me say the finals. That's the all of AFCON. He was one of those players that really got Nigeria to the final of the AFCON. I think it's my best bet to win the African Football of the Year for 2024. A fantastic player, no doubt. Since I'm choosing to play for Nigeria, he has really improved when it comes to the game of football. I think he should be one of those players that will be on the name of a lot of clubs going into the transfer market. We saw what happened when he was at Everton. He didn't really got it, but yes, that time we can really say Leicester City also. He didn't really get it at those clubs. Yeah, we can see that he was so young, but him moving away from England out of his comfort zone to Germany and finding himself Germany first. I think he played with is it Leipzig? Yeah, I think Leipzig. Yeah, he played with one of those German teams before moving straight back to Everton, and from Everton straight he played with Fulham also. He was on loan at Fulham, and I remember that penalty in one of those games that would have kept Fulham in the EPL, where he went for the Panenka and the kill goal in the dying embers of that game. So before he found himself at Atlanta, where he's now getting into the peak of his career. Fantastic moment. What a moment for you to score a hat-trick against a team like Leverkusen, who has kept the whole season, unbeaten, and you ended the whole unbeaten season for them. Getting an hat-trick against them, making the invisible visible for everybody to see. But I think the team that really suffered for it has to be Klaus Lautern in the German DFB Pokal. That's the team that
that match we play today, right?
Yeah, I think that game will be played today. That's the team that really have it to face against Bayer Leverkusen in that final. But great game for Ademola Lookman. What a game he had in that encounter against Leverkusen. That is the kind of game that makes you win the African Football of the Year, and I'm also on the ice for that. I really want to see him win that because he really deserves that.
All right, you say really deserve that. Ademola Lookman really deserve the African Footballer of the Year after Victor Osimhen won it last year. I already say this year, yeah. So
Last year, 2023.
2023. So the 2024 is looking good for them. But hey, there's a contender here.
Who?
We are having Sebastian Haaland, who won the African Cup of Nations.
No,
Well, I'm coming. He won the African Cup of Nations and is in the final of the UEFA Champions.
Allah is not a competition.
It's
It's
not.
not.
Why?
It's not a competition because one
Mm.
at the AFCON he came in at the quarterfinal. And he was not really a starter for Ivory Coast. I think he really starting for Ivory Coast at the semi-final, semi-final stage. That was when he really starting for Ivory Coast. So he was not. If
He
you
was
even
injured from
yeah,
the
if you're
beginning
telling me a
of the
competitor
competition.
might just have been Adingra. Adingra also started in the quarterfinal. He started the AFCON injured. And when you look at the number of goals, the important goals Ademola Lookman scored at the AFCON for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, getting that 2 goals against Cameroon.
Even the player of the
And
tournament,
player of the tournament,
Ekong.
Ekong.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
so
it.
that shows
I
that,
keep on
But,
mentioning.
but if you look at it, there's this rumor that Kudus
Kudus
standing
is not, no,
better,
he's
like
not,
the
he's just,
Europa
it has to
player of the
just-
season.
Is
Is he not the
no,
one
no,
that
no,
won
no,
it?
no,
Who
no,
won
no,
it?
no. It has to be Abba.
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang won't win the African. He won't win the African Footballer of the Year because he's not having any what's it called, club football title, and he was not at the AFCON.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, I think the biggest competitor for Ademola Lookman has to be Trust Ekong, the Super Eagles player who won the best player, the MVP player at the
tournament.
AFCON. At the AFCON, he has a fantastic tournament at the
And he
AFCON.
won
Got
his, clubs there.
got Nigeria some important goals at the AFCON. Also won the Greek League with his club PAOK Thessaloniki. So that might just be the biggest competitor for Ademola Lookman. But my money's on Ademola Lookman. It has to really be between Ademola Lookman and what's it called, Boniface. One of the two really had to
But
win.
Boniface missed
Yeah.
the Nations
He
Cup.
missed the Nations
that
Cup.
will-
So right now he's on the. I think it's really going to favor either Ekong or Ademola Lookman. My biggest money might just be on Ekong winning it.
All right, wherever you're watching us from, this is Premier Sport Fan Center, and this is our live watch along show. It has been an exciting moment. The FA Cup final, the second half has just resumed with Manchester United already leading 2-0 on the first half. And wherever you are, you can send in your comments to our YouTube channel. And also, you can call in. Our number is in front of the screen. You can call in to be part of the show. And if you have not subscribed before, please do subscribe, to support the Premier Sport Fan Center. And that is the situation. Yeah, mate, what are your expectations in the second half? Before we
Yeah,
continue with the commentary?
expectations not much. Let's see how it is being unveiled. Because you see now, it looks like Man U is now playing 7 men behind the ball, or 3 men up front. And when you switch like that, that means you have more bodies defensively than attacking. But Jeremy Doku has been introduced,
Yeah, very much
and
important. They really
is
need him.
going to run down the wings.
We
We're
talked
talking
about
about
I'll come back to-
a
I'll
lot
come back
of
to
body
explain
up
that.
front, and I think we are in for a game that if Man U lose this game, do they win this trophy? I think Ten Hag should be gone tomorrow morning.
I think it's very much important for him to bring in Jeremy Doku because that is one winger that knows how to hold on to the ball and make good use of it for Manchester City. Because coming into the second half, it's only common sense for a manager to know that Manchester United will come into this game thinking of defending in the second half, and that's what we've seen in the start of the second half, defending with about 7 men behind the ball. And who else can unlock that? It has to be Jeremy Doku. He holds onto the ball. He's an enterprising player when he holds onto the ball for Manchester City, and that's a player that can really unlock that defense of Manchester City in this game. They need to get that first goal before the mark of 60 minutes in this game. Then that is really going to be the also of this game. Manchester City needs to get that first goal in this game.
All right, let's quickly look at the substitutes. Those on the bench, and already Doku is in. For Manchester United, we are having Alvarez still on the bench.
Alvarez.
Bob,
Manchester City.
for Manchester City, we are having Alvarez.
Alvarez.
Alvarez still on the bench. Then Bob still on the bench. Carson, Diaz, Grealish, Lewis, and Nunes.
Nunes.
Nunes still on the bench for Manchester
Well,
City.
not really a strong bench for Manchester City. I think the only player remaining on the bench that might just come into this game and change the face of this game might just be Jack Grealish, who I don't really think might be coming into this game. Because when you look at it, we're having Jeremy Doku on the wings, so I don't really see how Grealish might just be joining this attack for them. Probably Julian Alvarez might just be the players coming in. Will he take out what's it called? Erling Haaland in this game. I don't think Pep Guardiola will be taking that big risk in this game. So the way it is, it's really, really at the disadvantage of Manchester City. If there will be a third goal in this game, it might just be Manchester United getting that third goal because the players are growing in confidence in the second half. And as the minute goes, as we are joining the 50th, 60th, 70th minute, and it still remains 2-0 is advantage Manchester United. Then they might be getting that third goal in this game.
Yeah, advantage Manchester United it is. Amrabat will return that pass to the defense. Varane will set a pass to Amrabat again. Amrabat still with the ball, sends it back to Onana. Onana having the time of his life in this final. Playing with fire right there. And it's just lucky that fire didn't burn him. So 50th minute in that encounter is Man U leading 2-0. Bruno Fernandes finds Mino, who has been a shining light for Manchester United in the midst of darkness for them this season. And he sets a pass forward. Bruno Fernandes will keep this one. Set the final pass was blocked by John Stones. One back by Manchester United. And that's a foul under Manchester United player Scott McTominay. And it's going to be a free kick to Manchester United at this point in time.
Yeah, free kick to Manchester United at this point in time. Let's also quickly look at the substitute of Manchester United. Those on the bench: Anthony. By in there, we have Diallo, Eriksen, Evans, Angelo is on the bench, yeah, and Kabwala on the bench, Lindelof. Then Messi Mount on the bench.
Looking at the bench, it's looking like Manchester United even have a better bench than Manchester City in this encounter. And Ojlund on the bench, we've seen him in the last 2 games of Manchester United, coming into that game and getting those goals or getting amongst those goals for Manchester United. Talks about how big of a threat he can be to Manchester City in this game whenever he comes into this game. And I think Eric Ten Hag will be introducing him to this game probably in the 60th or 70th minute to actually cool the tempo of Manchester City coming all out against Manchester United. Then look at the bench. I think Manchester United has a better bench in this encounter.
Yeah, Manchester United have a better bench, and those missing players. We see my friend Harry Maguire is having muscle injury. Majlaisha is having knee injury. Shaw is also having leg injury. Then the only player missing for Manchester City is the goalkeeper Ederson, who is having eye injury in the last encounter. It was furious when he was substituted at that encounter. But yeah, look at it. It's still
he'll be missing the Copa. He'll be missing the Copa America also.
So Jeremy Doku will attack down the left in that final third. And he finds Viadol, who has gotten some crucial goals for Manchester City, which ensured that they won the Premier League. And that's a cross from Bernardo Silva, headed out by Lisandro Martinez, who has not given Haaland any breathing space right there. Doku will attack down the left right there. Who finds Viadol? Viadol finds John Stones. And it's still Manchester City with the ball right there, trying to find time and space to hurt Manchester United. And that's De Bruyne trying to link up play. But his link up play was intercepted. And hey, the follow-up was a bad one. And will be a goal kick
I think
to Manchester United.
I just pray Manchester City won't find himself in this trouble because the what's it called, the trap Manchester United is really setting for them is really a dangerous one. Trying to play a low block with about 9 men behind the balls, and Manchester City are falling for that, sending all their men to attack against the same Manchester United, forgetting that they have a winger like Garnacho and Rashford. These players are fast on the ball. They can hit you on the counter and get that third goal. They really need to be careful with how they attack against Manchester United. They really need to keep that composure in the midfield and keep that balance if they are sure that they really want to get this equalizer or the first goal in this game against Manchester United. If that composure is not found, then probably Manchester United will be getting that third goal.
And Man U is attacking Garnacho down the right into the box and drops that pass. But hey, well defended by Rodri, but it's still Bruno Fernandes with the ball, who sends the ball into the box, but was blocked by that defender. Rodri will set off Doku to run down the left. What can Doku do with the ball? On two players on him, trying to run past 2 players, but the referee says there's an infringement on Jeremy Doku, and it will be a free kick to Manchester City at the 53rd minute of that encounter. Replay shows that was a beautiful defending from Rodri right there, the Spanish international, who is here to lose a game in open play.
Like this must be the first game.
Yeah, most likely will be the first game right there. So it's still Manchester United leading 2-0 at the Wembley Stadium, the prestigious Wembley Stadium in England. And that cross finds Jeremy Doku down the left, and he will try to attack 1v1 against Wan-Bissaka. And Wan-Bissaka staying long on him. He finds Phil Foden. Phil Foden tries to set the pass, but it was blocked by Sophia Amrabat. And still Jeremy Doku runs into the box, sets that pass. And hey, Phil Foden couldn't get the desired touch on that ball. And Andre Onana will take that one and take it easily. Slips on the ground. I will want to waste the time.
That was wasteful. That was wasteful from Phil Foden. You expect a lot better from a player who was named as Jean, the best player in the EPL. That was put on the platter of gold for him there. He should be putting that into the back of the net. You expect that from the 23 years old, the England international. He should be putting that into the back of the net.
Yeah, should be putting that in the back of the net, but he didn't put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, he didn't put it, and that is why it remains 2-0. And we're having a message from GMR Gaming Time. He say, hi, guys. You guys are doing well.
And Jeremy Doku attacking into the box. Drop that pass for Haaland.
Oh!
Haaland shot hits the crossbar.
Wow, that crash, that case the woodworks there from Erling Haaland. The Norwegian couldn't pull that into the back of the net as Manchester City attacking against Manchester United. Coming into the second half with a ferocious attitude against Manchester United, keeping Manchester United at bay this game, and Manchester City looking all out to get that first goal, needed one in this game. Bernardo Silva on the ball, finds Rodri there, as Rodri on the ball there is Manchester City attacking, finds Jeremy Doku, was brought in the second half down the left side for Manchester United. Rodri, Doku against Wan-Bissaka, and it's off for a Manchester City corner kick.
Yeah, corner kick to Manchester City at the 55th minute of this encounter. Now the lightning is beginning to light up. The Wembley is beginning to see the fire. You can see the lightning. Will it come to the point where Man City will come back into this encounter? All in time will tell. Now Man City has a corner kick right there. De Bruyne will take this into the box. Oh, punch out and saved by Onana, and Amrabat declaring. But hey, it's still Kyle Walker with the ball. Who finds Phil Foden straight to Rodri. The edge of the box is Kovacic. Who finds Bernardo Silva straight to De Bruyne with that cross to no one. And it's going to be a goal kick to Manchester United at this point in time. So Man U still leading 2-0. 56th minute of that encounter at the Wembley Stadium. Man U 2, Man City 0.
Wow, really light in second half of Sunday's game. Manchester City coming all out just like they did in the first half against Manchester United, but the goals are not coming in, and the possession is not turning into goals for Manchester City, which is really be a big problem for them. And this is the second substitution I was really expecting. I think it's really going to be a big goal. Kevin De Bruyne going out of Julian Alvarez in this game. That is Pep Guardiola coming all out in this game, coming all out to attack against Manchester United. Let's see how this is going to play for them. It's a chess game right now. When you're losing, you have to come all out against the opposite team. You have to attack against them. So let's see how this is going to pan out. Will it be Manchester United taking advantage of that and getting the third goal? Because it's really going to be a big blow having Kevin De Bruyne exiting this game. But let's see if Manchester United will take advantage of that, or will it be Man City get it? That's
Kevin De Bruyne has not really been in this game.
Yeah, but I think Alvarez is not really that player in this game. This is a game where you're losing 2-0. If it was a game whereby it's still 0-0, I would have thought of it that yes, Alvarez might be coming into the game and Adam needed advantage in the midfield. But a game like this, you need a player like Kevin De Bruyne, experience, and how he actually unlock the defense of opposition. You really need it in a game like this.
Yeah, Onana plays this goal kick forward, and that Man City player will not head back, and it's Rodri with the ball now, trying to attack with the ball right there, and he finds Jeremy Doku down the left. It's Jeremy Doku that will attack into the box. Oh, I just crossed into the finds Alvarez. Alvarez finds Rodri. Rodri to Bernardo Silva, who returns it, and that cross. Oh man, no Man City player to connect that. Rodri still with the ball, cross the ball into the box. Headed out by that Manchester United player right there.
Against Manchester United. It's still Manchester United having them exactly where they want them to be.
Yeah.
You can sense the frustration on the face of Manchester United. Let's see if this is going to Garnacho being sandwiched by the Manchester City defender there, as Manchester City back attacking against Manchester United right now. Advantage Manchester City, but still Manchester United having them where they wanted to be. 60th minutes into this game, 1 hour of football already at Wembley Stadium, and he's Jeremy Doku
with
with
that
a
shot that was
wrong
blocked.
shot, easily blocked there by Manchester United, and it's Manchester United playing out that to safety, but not to the full safety as the blue shirt of Manchester are coming back to attack against Manchester United. 60th minute, is that 59 or 60th?
Yeah, 59th
59th
minute.
minute, approaching the 60th minute of the second half. 1 hour football is the advantage Manchester United right now.
Yeah, advantage Manchester United.